Welcome back to Füssen in Germany. We're in the very south, very near the Austrian border, and a truly beautiful town to host this World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event. And at the heart of the town, the BLZ Arena, is where all the action is this week. So, we saw Germany qualify in the first spot last night, and this is the final game to determine the final team in the men's Olympic Games in Sochi, Russia in February. And our two teams going head to head are the USA and the Czech Republic. So there are the teams who are just about to be announced.
The lineup of the United States is as follows. Lead, John Landsteiner.
That's how it was meant to be said right there.
Second, Jared CZE-USA. Third, Jeff Isaacson. Skip, John Schuster. The lineup of the Czech Republic is as follows. Lead, Jindřich Kitzberger. Second, Jakub Bares. Third, Martin Sneetil. And skip, Yuri Sneetil. Enjoy the games.
Good game.
Good game.
Have a game.
Good game. Good game.
Have a game.
All the teams just making their final preparations, and then we can get the action underway. Looking for that last spot at the big show. And my name's Logan Gray, and for the last time this week, unfortunately, joined by two-time Olympian Uli Kapp. So there we see the three teams who qualified on 5 and 2. Korea unfortunate not to make the playoffs on 5 and 2, losing a tiebreak to the USA by 7 shots to 5. And of course, Czech Republic losing out in an extra end just last evening against the host nation, Germany. So we see Germany qualified already, and Czech Republic and United States to battle it out for that very last spot at the 2014 Winter Olympics. Well, Uli, we saw a really tight match last night. Do you think we're going to get something similar today?
Hopefully. I really think both teams are well experienced, so they probably will a little bit start slowly and get into it. They know what it counts on this. It's quite a pressure shot when you want to make your dreams come true. On the other hand, like either the Czech team or the US team, they know how to play the draw game. So that should quite work for us. I mean, last night Germany was pretty much defensive. Also, after they were making the three, so this was wanted to keep control, but the drama was in the end then.
Yeah, it certainly was. It went right to the final stone, and Felix Schulze pulling out an absolute beauty to qualify Germany. Czech Republic didn't really play aggressively yesterday either. Do you think we'll see any different strategy from them today?
Not for the moment. So they try playing a takeout with Jindřich Kitzberger, as the USA opened defensively as well. Just played the first rock into the house. So the European bronze medal winner of 2012 against, at least one Olympic bronze medalist, John Schuster. Remember, he played in the 2006 Olympic Winter Games playing for Pete Fanson and the crew.
So here's Jindřich Kitzberger throwing the lead stones for the Czech Republic. And this stone moving higher and higher in the house. Continue to have nose hits at some point. We may have to see a slightly more difficult shot played to roll into the rings, but that's still maybe 2 or 3 shots off yet. This is Jared Zezel, the 22-year-old. Jared and the lead John, their only cap for the United States was at the World Juniors in Perth, Scotland in 2011, so a bit of a jump up this, Uli, and they seem to be dealing with this new environment very well.
Yeah, kind of like high expectations back from the US curling and as well as of the Olympic Committee of the USA. And for the sport itself, it's always like who you're going to vote for. I think personally a little bit more friend to the Czech team. Of course, we stay neutral in this one. May the better win, but still, like, you know, the guys a little bit better, and you know that they can play really well, and they really also work hard for it. But from the curling point of view in general, it's of course quite necessary that the US maybe stays into the Olympics. Talking about TV coverage and all these things going on. There's a huge market, and as the last Olympics proved, a lot of huge interest. Olympic curling competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And John Yar mentioned that in his interview last night, just how important it was for Jeremy that his team qualified for the Olympics, especially after the exit of Andrea Schopp from the women's competition earlier that day.
For us, it's only the only chance to really get somehow an attendance, a high attendance, and we had this high numbers already. Just remembering the Olympic Games 2002, Salt Lake City, it was huge. We had millions of spectators, and then of course it's all about the funding as well. You need to make the sport grow, and we have high competition from other sports. Germany is a winter sport nation, so a brief look to the rules. It's just now 8 ends to play in this playoff situation.
Yeah, it was only 6 during the round robin. Playoffs moving up to 8. And of course, the timing rules all the same, 73 minutes for each team, and both teams are entitled to 1 coach interaction. Well, again, USA quite happy to go into the rings. They were maybe looking for a tight guard there, but erring on the right side. Martin Sneetiel, the 35-year-old, first brother of the skip Yiji.
Well, it stayed. Thought it overcurls a little bit, but didn't. So everything under control. So you could follow this team, really made a huge step, say the last 2-3 years. They always were there, they were close to enter the playoffs. And the first attempt at the European level, they made it in Moscow, 2011. Just made it there and lost the bronze medal game to Denmark at those days. But the year after, they made it and won the first ever medal for the Czech Republic in curling. This A level.
Yeah, it was a huge result for Czech curling. By no means one of the kind of power nations in curling. But this is an extremely good team here, skipped by Jiří Sneetiel. And a lot of people fancied this Czech Republic team to qualify, despite it being such a strong field in the men's competition.
Yeah.
And it has been a bit of a contrast between the men's and the women's competitions this week, hasn't it, Uli?
Well, kind of. You could see like China and Japan following firstly the women's competition. It's just like they were the one to be beaten, like really they were far ahead. And here it's all-man team. You could see like Korea started pretty strong at the beginning and then falling back a little bit. And everybody just reversed, so everybody could win against everybody. So somehow was high expectation, and we were wondering that Japan was not so strong as expected before. Also, you know that this team with Morosumi, they're a really good team, as they showcased at the Worlds. I think they ended up 5th or 6th place at the last World Championships, something like that. So.
Just clean.
Well, they put
Clean.
superb performance at the Pacific Championships this year as well, which really raised a lot of eyebrows, and people thought maybe Japan could qualify this week, but they finished 1 and 6, and it just shows the quality of the field in the men's competition, from the best team to the weakest team. On another week, it could be 3 completely different teams who are in the playoff stages here. And the women's maybe a little bit more clear-cut who the best teams were.
Yeah, definitely.
So here's older brother Yiji Schnitil, 38 years old. Czech Republic and the USA, they actually met in the first game of the week. When they went head-to-head, it was a 9-7 win for the Czech Republic.
So as both teams had the same record after round robin as Germany as well as Korea, but the way they beat each other, it was clearly ranked that Germany won the round robin, ranked first, as they were winning against Czech and the USA. As Czech Republic won against the USA in the round robin, they were ranked on 2nd place. So the USA have been ranked 3rd place together with Korea, so those had to play off for tiebreaker to get the last spot for the playoffs. And they won this tiebreaker 7-5, which means that Korea was a really tough week for them, really starting with 4 wins in a row and then two losses and another one, and you're out.
Yeah, it's been a tough school this week, and there has been questions made about whether the format is fair for 4 teams tying on 5 and 2 like they have. It's typical in the very first year they do it. Then the one scenario that really makes a little bit of a mockery of the system comes up. But fair's fair. You need to rank the teams somehow, and it's going to be a blank first end here. When we return for the second end, Czech Republic will still have the last one advantage. No score here in the first end of our second men's final.
It's hot again. That's coming down now.
And the USA looking for a center guard here to try and get some of the action going. And looking pretty good. Nice tight guard here from John Landsteiner to get the second end started. And the Czech Republic indicating that they're looking for a corner guard here, trying to get some offense going here in the second end.
Fajn, Martine. Sám.
Well, A good aggressive start here to the second end. Centre guard and then a corner guard.
Line's good.
Feels slower to me.
Well, the USA changing handle here to try and make this come around.
Guys, where you at? Ball, 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 let it curl. And go to the center line now.
Choosing to change handle there just so that if they didn't fully bury, then Czech Republic wouldn't be able to hit and roll behind their corner guard. But coming out way short in that fresh path.
Buďte s ním. Nesmí pomale, jo?
Well, this is a slight risk here by the Czech Republic, choosing to ignore the centre guards and go around the corner.
Yep. Co nejdál, Fabe. Nevadí. Yep.
Pojď dozadu, pevně, pojď.
Oh, fine.
Guard.
Oh, just past the T-line.
Freeze. Or rip. Freeze. It's got to be touching 8 foot to be shot.
So John Schuster indicating that he's looking for a freeze on that Yellowstone at the back of the T-line. Could well just ignore this stone and go around the centre guard.
Same here is good, guys. So, hard then.
That's more of a containing shot rather than an aggressive one.
Line's good. 3. Gotta go. Go then.
They really have to work this one. Doesn't look too heavy.
Hard, guys. Go. Hard.
A little bit more short.
Keep going. Keep going. You got shots. Keep going. Keep going. Keep digging. Keep digging. Jsme lepší, můžeme.
Jo, jsme lepší, no.
Pojď.
Jo, nebo můžeme hrát odle.
Well, coming up a little bit short and not managing to lie in short position there.
Nechce?
It's just a question how you can use this one later on as the guard is in the way.
Já bych to hrál, člověče. On pak tady bude hrát
It's one of the things you really have to take care of to really stay with the shot until it ends, until it stops. To really fight for the last centimeters if necessary. So another interesting call though. So they're really going for a lightweight takeout, trying to get on this red one and roll the shooter into the center of the house. But they nearly make sure that they pass the guard, and they touched it by a little bit piece. So quite a big miss.
I'm a little bit surprised at that call, Uli.
Yeah.
Czech Republic have the last stone here and they're already lying shot here.
I mean, you can run it
Could
and
have come
roll in
around
there if we
those
throw firm.
guards. They're quite nicely staggered
Yeah.
for that
Because
shot
if,
as well.
If the red wasn't there, how much did you have of this here? I'm sorry, what? If this red wasn't here, past this yellow, where do you have, like here?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, let's run it.
Okay.
Firm.
Isn't that
You got all
straight
plus
side,
a couple inches, right?
Yeah.
Okay, firm.
He really likes to talk about the situation, which is good. I mean, you can follow his strategy pretty much. So he's asking if there is a possibility to run this red one straight back
Yep.
and lie twice.
Yep. Hard.
That's
Yeah.
the target.
Yeah, I think this is the right call when you don't have the last stone. You always like to play a little bit more safely when you don't have the last stone. And a good shot there by Jared Zezel. Doesn't lock it, however. And now Czech Republic can make a play on that and try and find a roll behind the cover.
So second attempt on this one. First was a little bit too much curl on it. Well, they really need to make sure that they save the shooter, but this is not curling as much as they expected, and therefore this rolls out. So this is quite a comfortable situation now for the Team USA, having set up two center guards and a nice pass to play around.
Really, both of these teams have had different paths to get to this stage, do you think that the USA might have any advantage over the Czech Republic from the point of view that they're coming off a win to come to this game instead of a loss like the Czech?
It's kind of well, the good thing, I mean, from the Czech, they know they won the round robin game. When you say they know they can beat this team, but on the other hand, their loss is just in the back mind. They had a good chance to win against Germany last night and already could make it to Sochi. Now they have to go an extra round. And the US, they just start from the point, okay, they were keep on winning. They were winning this decisive tiebreaker one and now keep on going like that. For them, it's probably more a bonus. For the others, more a malus somehow. But you have to get rid of these thoughts, especially from the Czech point of view. Just focus on the game right now and keep it as a chance, another chance, and go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this opportunity is so important to all of these players. John Schuster, the only player on the ice who's been to the Olympic Games before. Oh, jams up that double there.
What are you thinking this year? Okay. Try to make it so, well, the only thing is we're going to leave a double and roll the corner. Right. When you get dead buried here, makes the double roll corner tougher. Okay.
Well, Logan, you're not totally right, if I may say that. So it's of course Jeff Isaacson. He has been joining John Schuster back in the last Winter Olympic Games as well. But they were not having the best week. They just ended up on the 10th and therefore the last place. So for sure they want to go there again and make it better.
Well, I apologize to Mr. Isaacson. So
this just happens.
Well, the American third and Olympian makes the come around here, and USA lying 2 on the center line here.
Trying for the double takeout, at least quite nice roll, but a little bit too far to the outside, so the yellow sticks in the house, but we'll see if it's worth something. The problem is that the red still counts and lies pretty good. And a good chance to put on another pressure. John Schuster trying to come around this center guard again.
Tad stiffer. What's that? Tad stiffer. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
John
we
Schuster
practiced
just
it
need to
through
be a little bit
95
careful
best
here
minutes,
not to leave a
95
double
best minutes.
takeout.
I was an ad, so.
Czech
But
Republic
like I said, that
do
was
have
the-
Yellowstone on the left-hand side of the house, which could
Who's got
still
the
come
full
into play in this end.
So, where exactly are we going? Half in the 8 foot, but line's more important than weight is. Okay. So we got to be, well, we have to count that one too. So, I can throw you guys 95 here, you think?
Yeah.
Talking about the weight, and of course for the line, they said the line is more important. Totally agree. He plays maybe kind of guard in the house somehow.
Right off then.
Yeah, I think the perfect spot for this one really would be just kind of in the front ring, out counting that yellow on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
It's fine. Whoa.
Just
Got a curl. It's
coming
Keep
down.
it on the nose.
Yep.
even
Line's
might
great.
be a little bit too long.
Yep.
Just freezing it, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the only problem with the freeze here is that it allows Sneatil to come down and bump this on the nose and leave themselves frozen on there, and then it does put the US in a slightly more complicated spot.
As you said, usually Sneatil is thinking exactly of this spot, but there's some intervention by young Jakub Pares. He said probably we just should draw. Two options. I mean, it's just depending if you can play the shot as you suggested, just following this pass and tap back the second red one.
Tady nám zatím nic netočilo.
No, dáme si takhle, aby jsme než tak klepli ten guard. Ne?
So, and
Co?
decision is made.
Je důležitý ten náš udržet.
They're going from the intern side.
Tohle je spíš ta
An
linie,
interesting
že
call
tam
this.
Jenom to klepnout, zůstat na něm stát.
Don't know that they'll know
Máme
this
ten
line
kamenu,
maybe as
který
well
jdeme
as the
hrát.
other side.
Jo, z téhle strany vlastně jenom.
No, a takhle teda jenom.
The other problem with coming on the intern here really is that it's difficult to push the one in the T line far
Yeah.
enough. You'll have maybe a little bit less
Yeah.
speed because you're chipping the first redstone away from the angle. Whereas you come down in the out turn, you've got a little bit more speed and you're pushing the first redstone straight towards the second redstone.
The only advantage of this one is like that your own stone, the shooter is sitting better probably. If
Yep.
it's not bouncing too far off. So it's anyway a really difficult shot for him and a really pressure shot.
Je fajn?
Jste fajn, zadní 8. Backline.
Ne.
Backline.
Nikdy, lepší, ale ještě ne. Lepší, ale ještě ne.
A zadní
Plus, it's
8.
got a lot of curling to do. It doesn't really get that tight to the guard.
Zadní 8.
Not the one he wanted. I think he's lying second shot now. But leaves the red one as the shot rock.
Under here. I mean, he's going to get to throw it to the pocket, but if it over curls, we could still steal. He'd probably go to here and get a piece of 1 foot, right? Control. Yep, control. Peaks, I mean, obviously not ideal.
Well, quite good call. Just keep it simple.
Control.
Get away with the second shot, lying 3 easily. Just rolling a little bit to the left side from this perspective.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think just the important thing here is just to stick around.
Just a hair less.
You don't want to leave a takeout down the left-hand side of your picture, passing that guard at the top of the screen.
The other option would be just draw into this red pocket, but it's difficult if you're not ending up like being shot rock as well. But they need to sweep this really hard. I think he played it a little bit to the inside. Oh, they just made it. Ooh.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that's a big miss there by John Schuster. And I just wonder if Yiji can see enough of that red to make the double. Here was the delivery of John Schuster. Just looked a little bit soft, didn't quite get the active release that he was looking for.
We were taking one that way. We were taking edge rock and hit it nose about the other first one. But I took less. Didn't really want to nose it. Better doing that though.
So he's summing up for us.
Well, it's definitely there, isn't it? Can come down and hit that red on the nose and spring both reds from play and score a deuce here in the second end.
Yeah, that's how the momentum can change in a game. Of course, he needs to make this shot first, but still there's a chance for 2. And he had this one before.
10.
This needs to curl, and I think this will pass the guard too far and hit it too much on the high side.
Já jsem mu nevěřil prostě, no, že nebude točit.
He just threw back on, edge of 4 foot.
Well, slight mistake there, missed opportunity for Yiji, and it's still 1 here in the second end. United States 1, Czech Republic 0.
Three is fine too, Lance.
Vůbec srovnej se za tím kamenem, jo, jakože jak si dohrával ty zápasy předtím, jo.
John Landsteiner laying up the top 4, it sounds like.
Well, 5-6 just. Tap on the floor. Take a
Well,
look.
it's just a one-shot game. And both teams starting out the end pretty aggressively, but then switching it up.
Holy foot at least. Go. Good. Attaboy, Lance. Good start, buddy.
Nice start of the game, or of the end. Really good weight and good direction of John Landsteiner. Yes. Another corner guard now set up with his first one of Jindrich Kitzberger. Oh, Martin Snitil and Jakub Bares really have to work this. They need to cross this line. This will work. But it stops a little bit before they want to have it. But
This side's a slow one. Easy though. Might be still a fresh path here, but looks good. Lean it anyways.
How's
Yep.
Ryan?
Yep. It's over, curling.
We're looking for a tight guard here.
Bars goes, fellas. Whoa. All right, Lance, it's fine. Good.
That just stops the sweeping there to leave it in front of that centre guard. But not really tight enough, and Kitzberger could try and make a freeze here. I think the Czechs would like to get their guard just a little bit further down, a little bit wider, and then it opens up this freeze on the outturn, so it just makes it a little bit more difficult to bring the corner guard into play when you're forced to play around the other side of the centre guard.
so they're just going a little bit for a tap. But this one curls again pretty much and opens up the guard.
Well, doesn't really move the guard, but the one saving grace is that the Yellowstone rolled into the rings.
Actually, no, it's good. Troll. Yep.
Just control.
Easy.
Weight's good.
Lead.
Pull up, actually.
Yeah, I see that. Yep. Yes. Hard. Right to it, guys. Right to it. Throw, Jared. Attaboy.
Well, they wanted the roll a little bit to the right side, but it stayed there. Double takeout could be possible, but makes no sense because then you lie open. So the bigger interest for Czech team is just to roll behind the guard.
Yeah, and actually, Uli, it looks like a straightforward call to just go and hit the one in the house when you don't have the last stone. But you're then relying on a miss, really, from the Czech Republic not to make the roll, and there's lots and lots of space for them to roll behind. So Jakub Bares doesn't quite get over there behind the guards.
Board's fine. Yep. They just do control, so.
Heavy board.
Oh. Yep. Hard. Hard.
They really have to sweep this one for line. They need to pass the guard, and it really starts to curl, and the same thing happened as before for the Czech team.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of swing on that
Yeah.
left-hand side of the sheet going away from the coach's bench.
Okay.
Fine.
Komora není nejhorší.
So Czech Republic kind of try and make the scoring area as big as possible, and maybe just give themselves a little bit more room for error when they do take the play over towards the corner guard here.
That's it.
Slow. Fine.
Yep.
Ne, kluci.
Czech team is aiming for keeping the two yellow in play,
Ne, nikdy.
and maybe force later on the US to take one. Really nice plate, super, really good. You could see perfectly lined up at the same level, so no chance playing a double takeout for the US team.
Peak's fine
Just
too. Little roll.
can reduce the distance between the yellow one, by rolling in from the outside to the inside.
Salt normal.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. 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 Right up. Go, 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 go. Oh, John. Yep, 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 yep. Okay. Throw it.
All sticks around. It's going to be the same shot again here, really. Would like to just make that little roll over, and what the USA are looking for is just an opportunity to make the double off this stone.
Or waiting for a miss, maybe that the Czech team is rolling out. So they're trying to roll to the outside where there's less space to roll and still count. But here they really have to work for line, and it looks like it's just a hit and stick, so there it is. Possibility for double takeout. But as the speed is pretty low, they just go for the hit and roll.
Al makes a roll over to the side of that Yellowstone. Pushes the corner guard, the stone over towards that corner.
What's that?
Czech Republic will be quite happy just to try and hit and roll to the open side here and keep their stones well separated.
Was there, but I didn't really want to bump them under all the way under there either. Yep, fine. Yep, 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 yep. All right.
But that didn't work out. And I think now John Schuster with his first one in this third end will try the double takeout. Just hit the yellow one, probably 1/3, and then run the shooter over to the second yellow one.
Yeah, this is the first real chance that the USA have had to make a double on these yellow stones. Looked like he laid that very tight.
Hard roll, John, go!
Not even close there from Schuster,
That
but
took off. It took off. Yep. That curled, I thought I threw it okay. Pretty good. What? Threw it pretty good. Jesus. And hard too, it wasn't like I soft at that thing. Man, I hate to take any more ice than that.
so good discussion there between John Schuster and Jeff Isaacson, just clarifying exactly what went wrong in that spot.
10 bude fajn, Martine.
Important to do that, just so they can get it right the next time.
It's probably mainly John Schuster talking.
Yeah. Yeah, John talking and Jeff smiling and nodding.
Yep, yep. Whoa, whoa.
So Jerzy Snittil is trying to hit the red one, so they need to make sure that they really get it on the left side, and this worked out perfectly. Really good attempt of him. And if we get the overhead perspective, we can see that they really, both of them rolled behind the corner guard as well, so this is a really nice shot. You can see both Yellowstones are really rolling to the left side. Here, there's a guard.
I mean, I can try to slash over the top and make the double. Sure. You like that? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough shot to make the double off. Needs to hit this really, really thin to get over the top. His other option could be to come around at quiet weight on the outside of the guard and try and make a hit and roll underneath the stone at the front of the 8-foot circle. Definitely doesn't want to give up 3 here, though.
Yeah. So make sure that you definitely pass the front guard and hit one of the yellows in the back.
So composes himself with a big deep breath and sends down the big weights here. How does it look? Well, jams it up, and that was always a real possibility.
Not even close.
That redstone does stick on the
I can't believe that first one curled.
edge of the 12 foot, but
I really thought I did.
that wouldn't really come into play.
Bad ice.
Usually Sneetail just needs to find the 12 foot. You see, he didn't actually have to get that tight to the guard there to make that shot.
Because he needed to hit the other one on the opposite, so across the face. I think he needed to run the first yellow one. Anyway, history already. Good chance for catching the lead for UC Sneetail. Just playing this one in fully 12 foot. And have a look at the split time, around 15.5, 13.0, something like that, even more.
14.1
It could be a little bit fast.
should be just the back of the house at furthest.
But it's just early in the game, it will catch up the speed a little bit, so he knows that for sure and made everything perfect for them.
Yeah, a really straightforward second end. Gets the mistake around the corner guard. And after 3 ends, it's Czech Republic 2, United States 1.
Super. Teďka dvojka.
Tak jo.
Hrajeme 90? Jo.
So a deuce in the third end for Czech Republic, giving them the lead for the first time in this second final. And a big prize at the end of this game for one of these teams. A ticket to the big show in Sochi, Russia. This is right at the end of the road to Sochi. Czech Republic throwing one into the house and staying in front of the T-line. So what's your early impressions of the game so far, Lee?
Well, you could see a little bit of tension in all of the faces. They really, especially the body language of the Czech team, looks like they really want it. They really want to go there. The US seemed a little bit more relaxed, but I think in their mind they know that's their chance to go. And well, the problem always is like when you have these intense games, just really focus on every single shot you make, on everything. Break it down. Don't think of what might happen later on. But it's easy to talk about this when you play downstairs. It's much more difficult. And you could see, like yesterday following the German game, like they were really in control. They played it perfectly, probably for 8 ends, and then they started maybe now we are close. Now it's getting really realistic. And then you start to think, and then you're giving up some shots, and then building up the opponent. And here you go. You have to go play the extra end and make the last shot.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a thrilling conclusion last night to get that first spot qualified for the Winter Olympics. John Steiner playing a lot better at lead this week than Indri Kitzberger. 85% for Landsteiner. Really, do you think that... Oh, that one just shaves the guard.
I know, but he said, whoa, quick there. And
Okay, so a miscommunication there. And
no,
it results in a missed shot, so they'll need to sort that out.
I can say, whoa.
And that's generally what can tend to happen when the pressure comes on. It's the communication that is maybe affected the most, and they're going to need to keep that sharp and keep an eye on it as the game goes along.
Yep, yep.
Really, do you think the USA team have any advantage in that they had to come through playdowns to get to this stage rather than just being a team selected to come here? Or maybe already had the experience of playing under this sort of pressure?
It's depending. We were thinking of, from the German point of view, the same thing. Talking to Daniel Halberg, who was commentating here as well, he said, well, it's probably not a good idea for the German Curling Association to send like Team Yar to play the B group of the European Championship and get this. So just imagine that this went wrong, probably just losing some and you're not going up to the A group again. Something happened like that, you would be really in trouble in here, just from the mental point of view. But now they probably are right. I mean, they sent there, they had this competition just close before, and they made it. It's just the experience can make the difference. On the other hand, just preparing very relaxed could also be an advantage. I think it's very much depending on which type of team it is, how you can handle this kind of situations, and I think you have to really decide which is the best preparation for each team.
I absolutely agree. And I think this USA team, I think they need games. I think when they're playing a lot of games, they'll really start to move through the gears and play their best curling. Whereas maybe not the same for this Czech team. They prefer just practice away and go about preparation in their own way, and then hopefully hit the ground running when they get here. So
I pretty much preferred myself, like just keep it a little bit easy right before the big competition, regroup somehow, get also a little bit more fun, like to really not burn out when you enter such a big event. Just be there ready, and you really want to play curling now and not feel tired because of all the curling. Oh, this is how it works. Or is it coming back in? Yeah. This should bite. The yellow one in the left corner. Is there a corner when you have a house?
yeah, the corner of the circle. Well, I think Czech Republic have to play a takeout on this short stone anyway, so they've squeezed it far enough. I think just a hit and stick and leave a guard would be a good shot here for the Czech Republic.
Yeah. Pretty close to the house. Puts another pressure on. So then Team USA is thinking of what they play. Are they attack the one on the outside, or do they need to play a takeout on the center guard?
That's it.
Martin Sneedtail playing 74% for the tournament. That stat has actually come up a little bit, Uli.
Yeah.
Martin's starting to play some better curling as the week goes on. And he doesn't make the hit and stick on the centre line, but rolls over in front of that shot that's touching the 12-foot circle in the corner, as you said, Uli.
Yeah. Just in talking about the percentages, he's standing on 8th position, so he's really not performing the best on this position. Really struggling, kind of, especially in the third game. It's just 63% of this. But the tiebreaker, he was right there with 88%, so it's up and down of him. And as you might know, like playing stones number 5 and 6 is just a key position, to make it easy somehow for the skip or for those who playing the last shots. Should be a very talented curler, really all kinds of shots. But maybe nowadays it doesn't has the meaning and it has maybe before, like that. You could see all the athletes coming from the juniors. They are more or less educated to be, say, multiple players every position. They can play almost every shot. I think actually it's the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. You want your players to be able to make every shot, regardless of what position you're playing. So that Yellowstone no longer in the house. Jeff Isaacson just bumping that one back. But should still be pretty well exposed from the hack here for Martin Snittiel. So a good shot there by Snittiel. Hits and sticks around.
Like here, right there. We're not going to be shot. I think we got to freeze again. Yeah, hit it. Play it there.
Same time, same weight.
Easy, easy, easy for line. Right off for a second. Switch.
Now it looks like we're going for the freeze here, and this has got a long, long way to curl at the moment.
Off. It's all here.
Just clean.
Right off. Still off. Off. It's still got to hook a ton. Like line's bad. He can go now. Still don't want it though.
Okay, so just looking.
Go if you need to touch it though. Make sure it's touching. Yep. Go Lance. It's touching. Okay. All right. Okay.
So doesn't get a line right on that one. Actually, really nice weight there from Isaacson.
Two great rocks.
This all playing 78% for the week.
A jo, já mám od začátku.
But the weight ends up.
10.
Not really a pressure shot. Quite possible for Jiří Snittiel with his first one in this fourth end to hit this one and run this out and even keep the shooter maybe just in front of the yellow one.
No. Desítka je fajn.
Jiří Snittiel having an extremely good week, playing 81% at skip. And what makes that more impressive really is that his third player hasn't been performing that well. So quite often you'll see the thirds stat be low, and then it's very difficult for the skip to play higher than that. But Jiří seemingly able to keep the bar high, and probably he'll have to have played some harder shots than usual than when Martin is performing at his best.
Yeah. And actually he looks much better. Remembering the European Championship, he was struggling a little bit. He couldn't play, I think, 4 or 5 games as he was not really feeling well.
I think the double might stick. We got to
Had some problems with the health and seems to be right back.
control. Just roll it. Put your way, Lance.
So USA really tries
Close.
to keep their chances for making the deuce. Just hit the front one and roll over, but not enough, just stays there mainly.
Well, there still isn't a huge amount of room here for Jiří. It's one of those ones where that Yellowstone's going to be in your eye line a little bit. You're thinking, I cannot over curl on this one. It's very easy to overthrow it and hit and roll out of the rings. So an accurate shot needed here.
So it has been a quite good call of John Schuster. Also, there's some risk. Otherwise, people would probably play a double takeout. It would have been possible, but here he maybe forces a mistake and get the blanked end easily, or even maybe have the chance for a deuce still. Has been his thought.
Well, he's thrown quite a lot of weight at this one, Jiří. And there we are. So yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Just thinking, do not be tight with this one and give up a deuce.
So meanwhile, John Schuster is given the ice for blanking the end. Just hit it more or less where the broom is held by Jeff Isaacson. Throwing with a high weight and keep it straight.
sweep, guys.
Yep, good sweep in there by Landsteiner and Zezel to make that hit and roll out. And the fourth end here in the second final is blanked. Usually Sneetil, hands on hips there. I think he's a little bit frustrated with himself that he didn't make that force. But after 4 ends, Czech Republic in the lead here by 2 shots to 1.
All right, let's get started again. I'm just saying, I wasn't trying to say, like, you gotta listen.
So we're starting the 5th end, and it's up to Czech Republic
Hodně venkem.
playing the first one, probably into the house or just short before, maybe forcing the yes.
Jenom rychlost.
No, they're going for the front house one, yeah.
Pojď hát.
There are no need to play more offensive. They are in lead. So corner guard is the call for John Landsteiner.
That's okay. Hold for a second if you can. It's like plenty anyways, guys. Maybe a little though. That'll get it off that. That's fine. All right, Lance. Shot. On the edge.
Well, a little bit too tight to the rings, really.
Yeah.
Makes the come around hard and makes the run back easy. So Kitzberger is going to throw a guard here, you would feel. Czech Republic will be keen to try and force the United States to score one here in the 5th end. And that would give them the last stone in the 6th end.
Pojď hát, už ho smetáš. Už ho smetáš, pojď hát, jede hezky. Pojď, ještě se blíží. Už skrýváš půlku, pojď.
So they were really fighting for the last centimeters to get this one more centered, more in front of the shot rock, but it didn't work out quite the way they wanted to. So John Landsteiner with the chance to hit the yellow one.
Ah, nice throw, Lance. That a boy. Nice weight.
So now we know his nickname, Lance.
Yep. I think it's Lance and Zez.
So,
Loves a shortened surname. And Schusty.
Schusty.
That's what Daniel Herberg calls John Schuster. Yeah, Lance, Zez, Ike, and Schusty. So, Jakub Barish, seen a couple of half shots played in the start of this game. Looks like he's found a nice control weight this time though.
Yeah. And these kinds of shots are getting so important in the younger age of high performance curling. Just go some years back, just the heavyweight takeouts have been played much more, but now to keep this controlled weight up, and much more possibilities to keep your own shooter in play. Just to make sure that you have enough energy to raise back the opponent's stone out of the house. Probably that's the kind you can really say, like the top teams, they have this variation of different takeout weights, kind of the whole, how to say, the whole
Yeah, just the whole
claviatur. Is it the same in English?
the what?
When we play the piano, you have everything. It's a German thing, probably.
Just a wide range.
A wide range. Okay,
Yeah.
we agree on that.
Yeah, so they'll have a really heavy one. They'll have a kind of slightly less heavy one. They'll have a control weight, a hack weight, and yeah.
But always the same style. Every player on every position plays the same weight. That's the most important thing. Then it's more easy to read the ice for the skip.
Yeah, absolutely. And the skip's got enough things to worry about without players throwing all different speeds.
Not even thinking of different releases as well.
So a good shot there by Jeff Isaacson. Hits and rolls over. My apologies, that was Jared Zezel. Not doing very well today. It's been a long week.
So we not figured out his nickname so far.
Who's that?
Yeah, the one you talked about, Jared Zezel.
That's Zez.
Zez, okay.
Well, this is Martin. Just Martin. And they're going to make a draw around the centre guard here. Needed to stay north of the tee line here. And big mistake. That slips right to the back ring, and it's advantage the United States here if they can play a good draw.
Full 12 foot to be shot. Full 8 foot. Hard then.
So Jeff Isaacson probably with a better weight on this.
Gotta go line 2. No, wait a minute. Good. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, if you need to. The line's great. Whoa, if you can though.
So
Whoa,
they just need to go for the weight. Yes, the line looks good, as we can see now.
Well, you're gonna have to for the line. No, you're not. No.
Really good shot.
Well, it's not a bad shot
Fine.
by the
there's a
United
but.
States, but it's a little bit close to the tee line
Yeah.
here for the United States. And they would have liked to just stay a little bit higher in the house. The opportunity that they've given the Czech Republic here is that if they can follow it down and make a freeze, then their Yellowstone's going to be really close to the button. That really shrinks the scoring area for the final draw, really, for the United States.
Yeah.
Směr nikdy. Vypadá dlouhej, Fabe, zase.
Rychlost je fajn.
Zadní krok zatím. Ne. To vypadá veliký.
Rychlost je fajn, podle mě.
Nikdo.
Rychlost je fajn.
This looks a little bit heavy again. We're not really going for the tap back. But, well.
Super, Martine, dobrý.
Probably gets close enough to the nose to still make it a good shot, but I think they would have preferred just a dead freeze. Seems to be very, very fast in that spot. Both teams struggling to stay in front of the tee line.
Playing the fifth end. It's definitely some runways, maybe. Some spot where the pebble is played down.
A lot of weight.
Close.
A lot of weight.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Close, yep.
So the yes team really tried to tap back this yellow one again, so they really need to pass the guard very close. Really good call. Oh, really perfectly made. Really good shot now.
Yeah, super shot there by Jeff Isaacson. And throughout the week I've talked about the Americans not throwing a huge amount of handle, but it really helps in that situation to make the curl after it passes the guard, and that's what makes that shot possible there. Super shot there by the American third. One of the good things, like we said, with the team throwing the same weight all the time, then It's also important to have the same amount of rotation on your stones as well. So none of the American team really throw a lot of handle by kind of international curling standards. But the good news is that they all do it the same, so it's very readable for the skip.
Yeah.
So a tough one here for Yiji. And he's throwing this a little bit heavy. And this has got a long way to curl to make contact. Oh, chips one. Squeezes it far enough to lie second shot.
But still, there's a really good chance for the US team to place their second rock and go for good use, or even possibility for going for 3 rocks.
Yeah, well, that wasn't really enough there for the Czech Republic team. Needed to get both of them moving.
Ale já nevím, kde je to, kdy už to jede a kdy to nejede. To je to, co nevím.
They're always leaving a come around. Another option for them there could have been to run their own yellow guard back there. Might have given them more possibilities. So USA getting the mistakes out of this Czech side so far. And here's this draw around in that fast spot again here for John Schuster.
Wait only. Just can't be deep. Wait only.
See, Stone's just gliding down that line.
Yeah. And now it's probably a little bit too deep again.
Jesus Christ, John. Sorry, guys. That's terrible. Throw a guard.
Kousnout, musel být před ním. Martin to hrál, kolik hrál ten druhý Martin?
Oh, I don't entirely agree that a guard would have been better in that situation. He always makes things seem a lot worse than they actually are somehow. They're still lying to with the last stone. They're lying 4th shot as well, which needs to be taken into consideration by the Czech Republic team. But he has presented the same opportunity for the Czech Republic here as Jeff Isaacson did, we spoke about before. If they can make a freeze on that red stone on the tee line, then it's difficult to see a multiple score for the US here in this 5th end.
But he really needs to make sure that he has the right weight now. Cannot be too short, but also risk being too long on this one. So really good 4-foot weight would be perfect for him, and of course finding the line as well. But he showed pretty much, as we remember, the extra end yesterday against Germany to put the pressure on. Perfect weight and perfect spots he played on. But now another very important stone for him. And they really have to work this to get it right there.
But it looks like Yiji Sneetiel's done this exactly right and learned from everybody else's mistakes. He's thrown it extremely lightly down there, and just like the sweepers do all the work. That's a super shot there by Yiji Sneetiel in a very, very fast track down this sheet beat.
I was wondering a little bit, they were switching the 2 sweepers here. Indrich Kitzberger and Jakub Barisch. And it almost seemed like they were struggling a little bit in the very decisive moment. So you can see here, now there was a change and there was some contact with the brooms. But they made it in the end finally.
Yeah, good communication though in the end. Perfectly made shot by the Czech skip. And it really wasn't easy there. And I'm sure, I just wonder if Yiji had some flashbacks to the 5th end last evening, where he had 2 freezes in a similar spot and ended up, I think he bounced off the freeze with the first attempt and then chipped the guard with the second attempt and set up a shot for 3 for Felix Schulze. So I don't think it would have entered his mind, but
it can happen. It can happen. You always have to make sure that you forget those negative thoughts somehow, or these experiences you made.
Still low if you can, though. Whoa, whoa,
Well, this is a slightly wider line than they have been playing. It might not be quite as fast here, but this one's going to wreck on the guard. So I think it will be a score of 1 in the 5th end here for the United States. Super freeze by Yiji Sneetil getting them out of trouble. And at the halftime break, it's a tied game here in this second final of the Olympic qualifications. United States 2, Czech Republic 2.
So, the last shot played here by Yiji Sneetil. There was a chance for making 2, but he needed a perfectly double takeout, but he was a little bit more on the high side, so the red one in the center sticks there, and this was a steal for the US. And the third, an open draw to make the deuce, and the right weight played by Yiji Sneetil. Everything pretty much in control. So that means the lead of 2 shots to 1 after 3 ends played. And in the 5th end, a really difficult shot for getting the deuce for John Schuster. Needs to play from the outside, somehow gets through the port. But this stays too straight. They couldn't do anything and they were on the guard. So it just remained the 1 shot, the red one, that counts. So we have a score after 5 ends played. Tied game, 2-2. Have been available for the women, the same amount for the men. 2 nations are already in. It's Germany on the men's side and Team China from the women, and who's gonna follow? Here in the men section it will be either Team USA. Come on boys, look a little more optimistic, but I think they're just pretty much relaxed on Just getting over this pause. And then there will be another game, a featured game later on, 4:30 p.m. The last spot to determine who will follow Team China on the women's section, either Norway or Japan.
So welcome back to the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. This is the final game of the men's competition, and we're into the second half. Just one remaining spot left at the big show in Sochi, and it's going to be USA or the Czech Republic, but we don't know which yet, do we, Uli Cap?
So far, it's going to be really close. Hard to tell. I think it's really depending who's catching up the momentum here in the second half of this game. As I said, in the pause in between, there's both of them somehow find the right way. They all have some percentages ahead. There's some space to perform better. So there's just some minor mistakes on both sides. Just play a little bit more sharp, be a little bit more precise, and get your opponent to the difficult shots.
So again, Yiji Sneetil making an aggressive call, calling the corner guard, despite there being a center guard up. John Landsteiner having a good game at 89%. Outplaying his opposite number by nearly 10%.
Switch and go. Yep. Well, just be a guard maybe. That's still 3? Yeah. Whoa, then. Whoa. Yep. A little bit. Skip past a little bit. Oh, that's good. All right. That'll play, Lance. Okay. It's fine. Jim, check out.
Fine, very close.
Yep.
So this is exactly the kind of the same approach as Yiji took in the second end. And quite often you'll find that skips at the top level, they'll know exactly what they're going to do in certain score lines. If the opposition does this with their lead stones, then we're going to do this. And it's very much like a, I can't think of the word, it's like a logic. You know exactly what to do in certain situations.
Germany, I don't know if it's the right translation on this, but we say you have several pieces like you put together, like if you're building something, it's just a suitcase you carry with it, you put this piece out, it's just logical, as you said, to put these pieces together and make it work for you.
Oh, and then do that.
Oh, this is somehow a really missed shot, really unfortunate.
Guys.
And a good chance for Team Czech to put the pressure on.
No. Just who makes the double, but gets just a horrible result. A bit of a bad luck there for Jared Zezel. Only playing 68% today. And this is now a nice chance already for Czech Republic. And if they can get a second one in behind here, the great thing is that it forces the United States to try and open up the center of play, really. All those red guards kind of crossing each other, can't run any of those back onto the Yellowstones. I would have liked to get a little bit better buried.
Control or normal? Yeah, you can throw control, because this is even
That's
good.
one of the things that's just missing in this game a little bit. To be really sharp on these kind of shots, there you have the really good chance to put the pressure on the opponent, and they're not exactly using it. It's just like the situation somehow developed by mistakes, more than by mistakes than by really pressure shots.
Yeah, and I think it's when you really see these opportunities, then you really want to make them, but at the same time you need to be aggressive when making the shot. We're talking about aggressive calls, but you need to execute them aggressively as well, and you can't play them cautiously or something like that happens and the advantage is gone in the end.
So, but good answer, nevertheless, by Team USA.
Já bych tam zahrál, nechal bych to hrát jeho.
Really good double takeout played by Jared Zessel.
Se tohle nelíbí tady.
Budeme ztrácet kámen, ale zase, že jo? On je jedni v kruhu.
So this is somehow a difficult lineup for
No, vezmeme tam v
the
kruhu.
Czech team. How to get rid of these 3 red ones in front of the house. Jakub Bareš really needs good controlled weight.
Yeah, the youngest member of the Czech team has struggled a little bit today, only playing 68%. Let me try and open up the centre of play. They do push another red into the house. And again, how quickly things turn around in just a couple of stones.
Yeah. I was wondering if they were not putting too much weight on this. Probably looks like that they really want to keep the shooter. Somehow that this will roll as a corner guard, but also some
Lots of room. Easy,
danger
right?
as the other red one
You guys just
stays
switch
in
right
the
off of
house.
that here. 2. Once it moves, we have to sweep it though. 2. Just 2.
Oh, just looking for a tight guard here.
Hard. Gotta go right to the stop, guys. Right to the stop. Go hard, hard. Right up, Johnny. Come on, last 3
Sweeping
feet,
this
go.
all at the end,
Go,
trying to
go,
get
go,
the
go,
absolute
go, go,
maximum
go, go.
curl out of this guard. And we'd like that a little bit closer to the centre
Really
line.
pulled that one out on you.
So again, both teams just not executing their shots 100%. It's kind of half shots, 75% shots that are getting made.
Krásný, jo.
3/4 kamene asi, viď?
Co?
3/4 kamene.
Martin Schneetiel playing 73%.
He definitely can much better, but this was quite a good attempt.
Já jenom jsem čekal, kdy už mám říct.
Not really
gól,
going
jako
for the
jsem
double,
věděl,
but
že už to-
at least the roll. The question is, can you get directly to this yellow one from the outside? I think this is possible. Just throwing a controlled weight. Watching this. Maybe needed a little bit more contact to the... Just the roll would be nice, not probably the double takeout.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa,
definitely
whoa,
in the 6th end, the Czech Republic want to score, so they won't be too worried about leaving
whoa. Johnny hard. Anything. Couple
the
punches
opposition stones in the house. They would have preferred make the hit and roll in behind the cover. So it's really a race to get behind these centre guards here. Jeff Isaacson playing 82% today.
even.
OK.
30.
So Schneetiel is asking for hit and roll, but not to the inside. To the outside, just in front of the red one, and hopefully stay shot rock.
Ne, ne. Nikdy,
Whoa.
nikdy.
Whoa.
Lepší,
Whoa.
nikdy.
Yep. Pozor, yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Nikdy říkám.
Nikdy.
Nikdy.
A really good attempt. I think it's perfectly made because the yellow one should be shot rock.
Well, if that's a lying shot, that's a super result for the Czechs.
To lepší.
It's really difficult.
Pick it out as he's going around anyways.
Yeah, it's really, at this perspective, it pretty much looks like that. Really nicely played.
I know.
I think we just pick it. Don't you? Okay.
Well, I don't know if it helps or not, that look. Too hard to call, I would say, but still, I think we're going to see
What?
USA wanting to move it anyway. If it's even a measure, I think the US want to peel that one out.
Yeah.
About 2 feet there, so he's got to hit half or thinner. Okay.
So the broom is going to be the target for John Schuster. Tries to deliver the stone directly in this direction.
Yep.
Make sure that this one hits the yellow one at the right spot. And this looks good. Well played.
Hrana.
Spíš z té hrany. Vidíme téměř skoro
No, bude to takových 80.
Já bych to hrál 85 a 80.
Tohle, co jsme tady metli v té rovné stopě, bylo 95.
So,
Tady to bude 85.
are they playing the draw or are they playing the takeout here? That's the question.
Musíš čekat, že jo?
Budeme muset čekat, aby začal
I think
točit.
the draw could be a good call here.
Myslím, že i 80 bude fajn.
Definitely the red one is not lying good enough for playing a hit and roll, and also is not lying good enough to put pressure on. You have a good chance to really follow behind the guards. And I think he really goes for the come around.
Yeah, good call here
Yeah.
from the Czech skip. It's difficult to say exactly for sure from where he put the brush next to that red stone, but playing 72% today. But how crucial was that freeze that he threw in the fifth end? And sometimes stats may be quite low, but if you're making the correct shots, that can very much keep your team in the game.
They were waiting for the curl and it was coming late, very late. So they probably can cover the stone a little bit. But the question is it good enough?
You saw us run nice.
For sure, it's over tee.
You're a tiny bit soft, but
And therefore a chance to follow the pass and just sit in front, but they decide to play lightweight takeout.
So. I get heavy board here, huh?
But maybe they won't be that worried about making a hit and stick here. They'll just be keen to get that Yellowstone out of the rings, and if this sixth end is blanked, then that's no disaster here.
Hard. Close. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Off. It's not curling. Off.
Yeah, we had this before. The draw as well was also staying pretty straight. So they're expecting a curl, but I think now it's on its way, or is it not?
Great.
Oh, yeah, this was important.
What? We're a little more in than that. Well, you kind of helped. Like I said, you're a little soft there. So
Yeah, both of those stones roll out of play. Just a red stone still in play, but not in the scoring area. And it looks like this sixth end is going to be blanked here. UG Snaitail's just going to try and remove that red stone on the right hand side of the picture. Here we see it just waiting for it to curl. And it's just got enough force to push that yellow through the house. Doesn't manage to stick around, but as I said before, I think USA will be quite happy to blank the sixth end and then try and force Czech Republic to score in the seventh. Should be a straightforward shot for Yiji, and makes it look that way. This sixth end is blanked. And still a tied game, 6 ends out of 10 played here. And in the seventh end, the Czech Republic will have the last stone advantage. Seventh end in this second final. Germany threw in the first spot last night.
really nice.
And just one more spot remaining. This game too close to call and could still go either way.
Hey boy.
John Landsteiner having a really good game this afternoon.
Really consistent and playing the stones right in front of the house. Really good.
So it'll be interesting to see if Yiji throws a corner guard or whether he goes into the rings here. Now yesterday against the German team in the odd ends he was throwing into the house. This is the first time we've really seen him today with that position. Yeah, he's definitely tapping his brush in the house, so definitely trying to control the scoreboard, and looks like he's going to try and blank this 7th end. So, you know those guys pretty well, Uli.
They're looking good. Francis Schaut, I think they were sleeping in this morning. They're celebrating really tough.
Of course, that is the German men's team. See last night, look at the celebrations from the German team. Clearly thrilled, and such a great achievement to get through this event in the men's. Such a strong field, and so important for German curling to get them there. But John Yar and his team are going to compete at the Winter Olympic Games in Sochi for the very first time. And it wasn't the most exciting game, but when it came down to the last couple of ends, it was really, really exciting stuff, and it was an incredible reaction at the end.
Oh, really? I think they were working so hard, and once again, the way they were walking through, going down to B, like talking of the German Federation, and then climbing up the ladder, climbing up to the A group again, qualifying for the World Championship in Beijing, and then qualifying for the Olympic Games. So that's quite a good achievement this season.
Yeah, already. It's been a good month already.
Yeah, all in 1 month. Oh well, say it's November and December.
Yeah, so this is Jared Zezel playing second stones for the United States, and the United States get the mistake they were kind of looking for. Czech Republic hitting and rolling out.
Let's let it be. Let it be back. We can't be through. Whoa, right off. It's stopping right off, though. It's over curling. Whoa! That's how you throw them the natural. That's all. Throw Zez.
Pretty good setup by the US team. And it's up to the Czechs to somehow get control of this end again. So they really want to be defensive, want to go for another blank end, and force the deuce maybe in the 8th end.
Okay. Yep. Super. Okay.
Just 2.
Easy
Just
then.
2.
Easy really. No, line's okay.
2, 3.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Looks like lots, guys. Again.
3.
Going right. Easy. Can't go.
Oh, looking for a tight guard.
No, gonna have to go at the end now, though. Yep, yep. Yep, hard now. Hard! Hard to the stop line. Keep going. Good. There, buddy.
Yeah, like we've probably seen a lower standard of shot making than we've seen all week in this game. What would you put that down to? Is it the occasion? Is it slightly different ice conditions, with it being a one-game draw, only one of the sheets getting used out there? Like what seems to be the problem here?
They just want to go. I think that's also a little bit the nerves. They just want to keep control, both of them. That's very just tactics driven, and well, this is a nice shot played, but still, I mean, the guard remains, and another chance. It's only the color switched. It's just one of these games you don't want to win nicely, but you want to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to win ugly sometimes. It's almost, for me, kind of been like neither the teams want to lose the game rather than they actually want to go out and win it.
Yeah, and that sometimes is also a problem. Like you have to be. I figured out like when I had this major losses, when you probably lose the 1-2 game, you're waiting of, oh, you have another chance, and if you stay too patient, sometimes you really have to force your fortune as well, and not wait until it happens. So
yeah, it's looked a lot to me like the players, when they're trying to execute the shots, they're a little bit scared to miss them on the wrong side, and
instead of just making them. Yeah.
Exactly, they're trying to make the shot, but They clearly know where they want to miss it, and they err on that side rather than, as you say, just making it.
But once again, it's much easier when we're sitting here and talking this, chatting about these things, than when you're downstairs playing yourself. Sometimes not so easy to handle it.
Well, it's just a 4-end game now, tied after 6. And a nice freeze there by Martin Schneetel, taps the red back and keeps the scoring area nice and big.
Okay, off then.
Can't go. Whoa.
Okay, whoa, right off then. Got to curl in.
Really can't go.
That's it. Pull
Coming
still.
down.
Stay with it. Line's good now.
Right
Whoa, if
there.
you can. Whoa, whoa. Got to cross. Whoa, off. Off.
Needs to get to the nose here, and looks like it's coming down nicely. Oh, really nice freeze here by Jeff Isaacson. Well, that's definitely going to be a problem for the Czechs. And immediately they're going to bail here and try and run this guard back.
Z druhé strany ho musíme uvolnit.
Takhle. Tak. A jako fab.
He's playing a really nice game now, 81%.
Já nevím, jak to hrál fab rychle.
7,5 bude v pohodě, Martin. Nějakou
Chceš se
pohodovou
dostat přes
rychlost,
komoru
jo?
kousek.
Právě. Vidím na 8.
Čem se
tak
cítíš
hrál
dobře?
píl.
Jo.
So this is quite a bit of a challenge now for Martin Schneetel. Run back the yellow and open up this situation around the button.
Nikdy.
Well, trying to run this back. Needs to curl just an inch.
Oh, good attempt, really.
Oh, that's a great shot there by Martin Schneetel. Would have liked to kind of stuck the freeze on, but a super shot, and Czech Republic lying second and third shot here.
Normal. I think when we're this far off the line, it's not going to go very hard. So. Okay. We had to cross nose by about inch, huh?
Yeah, wait, Dad.
What's that double no?
So, okay, wait.
Normal.
But still another good opportunity to put
cross
the
nose
pressure
there.
on. John Schuster needs, I would say, a little bit a roll to the inside. Just make sure that he's not over curling to jam the yellow one back to the other one.
Whoa, close. Whoa.
Yeah, well, John doing the work for us as usual, and just saying that he just needs to hit an inch inside the nose. Oh, great shot here by the American skip, but as John says, just rolled a fraction too far. They would like to stay a little bit more in front of that redstone on the button.
Close.
Still a pretty good shot though, really splitting hairs here. Do you have that expression in German, splitting hairs?
Split, yeah. Somehow. It's always dangerous when you use these kinds one-to-one translation. Sometimes not the correct way.
Well, Yiji's going to try and move the stone on the button. Just try and cover an inside edge here. So Yiji Schneetel really raised his game in the second half last night, made some super draw shots to give the Czech Republic a chance to win the game, put themselves in a winning position. Can he do the same again today? That's looking pretty good here. Oh,
Really good.
great shot by Yiji. Could not have played that any better. Wow.
Also really good sweeping. The right moment. Get it right there where it needs to be. Tap this one back. Stay shot rock. And even the angles like this, if you hit on this yellow one, it definitely will run back on the second red one. So I would just recommend maybe just play another draw inside and make it impossible to go for the deuce here for Czech Republic.
I don't think so. As long as I
Well, I mean, that's the only problem here for the Czech Republic, is that it's very difficult for them to score a second one, to get a second one in there. So I think we're going to see John just throw something around the kind of right-hand side of the centre line, just where John's putting his brush just now, and basically saying, okay, you can have one, but you're not getting any more.
Yeah. That's one of the things you really have to get sure about, that you sometimes it's even better just to
trying to just bite the
save it as it is instead of taking a risk.
But it's got it. We also need it to kind of hang.
You not always
so
need to score,
try to take away
but you need to score at the right moment.
Okay.
Well, I think they do want to go into the house here. Just makes it more difficult for it to become around, really. But also, there might be a shot on the left-hand side of the sheet, just a little double and stick around in the 8 foot for 2, if Yiji wants to take that on. So, wants to get us in a position where it would out-count that shot if Yiji decided to play that. Well, maybe just over-curls a fraction. Either that or needed to bring it further down, maybe to the top of the 4 foot. That's Tim Miller, the American coach, keeping a close eye on things through the lens.
Well, the question is there a chance for getting the deuce via playing a draw, or are we going for maybe a race from the outside, something? But I think they decided already. They expect a higher chance by drawing it right to the button. The good thing, they have a little bit of a backing with this one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the other option is they could play the raise on the corner guard, and
not even have a high risk, because they could have it even on the high side maybe. They won't lose the yellow one in the center, the shot rock.
And there's Tim Miller's opposite number, Dan Raphael. He's been around a bit. He's heavily involved with the Chinese team for a little while, and then moved on to Italy. And now
all the major successes for China.
Yeah, a really experienced coach, the Canadian. So I'm doing a good job here with Yiji Sneetil. Looks like they're going for the cold draw. Certainly there. We've seen so much curl as the stones come to a stop here, and they'll need to find all of it to get around this stone that John Schuster just played. Looks a little bit pacey at this point, and that's what Baresh is indicating.
Oh, looks quite good, but it needs a little bit of finish now. Ooh.
Well, that's not going to curl enough.
Yeah.
Passes the front stone by just a couple of inches too much, and it's going to be a score of 1 after a super first stone by Yiji in the 7th end, getting his Czech team off the hook in an end that USA really dominated. And after 7 ends, it's going to be Czech Republic 3, United States 2.
Stačilo mít o kousek méně ledu, nebo ho nemuset mít tolik na začátku.
Cože?
Do kruhu.
Jdem dovnitř?
Jo, jsme 1 nahoře.
Jeho 0 taky nevím.
Oh, this one's going to go right to the wire. Czech Republic leading USA by 3 shots to 2 here in this second final at the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. My name's Logan Gray, and alongside me, 2-time Olympian Uli Kapp. And any words of wisdom here for the team, Uli?
I'm not this old for wisdom.
You're a very wise man, though.
A wise man, yeah.
Like Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to tell. It's being in these situations. It's somehow just keep on going. I mean, it's for both teams, a lot of chances. Just, I think it's quite clear. The Czech team needs to somehow force US team to take one, and then they have the best chances maybe to finish this game. Another blank in the ninth end and coming home with a hammer in the pants. That would be the perfect schedule from the perspective of Czech Republic. The other way around would be like for the US team making 2 in this 8th end, being ahead 1, then forcing the Czech team to take 1 in the 9th and then coming home with hammer as well. So that would be probably the schedule for both teams. But as we all know, sometimes it comes just other than expected.
Well, I think a blank end would be a completely acceptable result here for the Czechs. That, in theory, would give them the last stone in the 10th end. So we'll see how this works out. Tight guard. And John Landsteiner having a really good game. The American lead outplaying Jindřich Gitzberger by 11%.
Okay, line's good. Line's good. Lock it on here. Line's good. A lot of room still. Line's good. Yep. Go if you need to. Whoa, Ken. Line's perfect.
Build up.
Okay, stay high then.
Build
Yep,
up.
yep, hard. Hey boy, Lance, good throw, buddy. Good.
So a good freeze there by Landsteiner, continuing to have a good game.
Jo, na něj asi až.
Klidně může být vepředu, viď? Pokračí.
But the good thing is everybody tries to build up something.
On mu přetočil, že on ho nepoužije teď ten svůj.
Looks like that the US team really want to make the deuce now or more.
Kam na ten červený. Jako směrem k vám.
Můžeme počkat. 0-3. Můžeme počkat, teď jsme trošku širší. Stranou. Vypadá dobře.
Kousek kratší je.
Vypadá dobře. Vydrž.
Ne, dobré, je tam
Počkáme
kdo
na
máš
něj.
koště.
To točí hezky.
Tam kdo máš koště.
Sypej, Martine.
Martine, ne, nechte ho zastavit.
Wow,
Nebo
nechte ho
dostane
zastavit.
všechny 3 na 1.
Necháme ho zastavit. Díky.
Super.
Like this.
So nice guard.
Yeah.
And now
I hate to not
the
hit,
US
but-
team is
We
trying to
can
get
also
rid
run
of
this
these
with normal
guards.
and it just goes
It's
bang,
getting
it
a little
goes
bit
under these
too
guards too.
blocked in front of
Yeah,
the
let's
house,
play that
and
normal.
of course they
Red
want to
nose.
make sure that they have a chance later on in the end to somehow draw to the center.
And they could play the double peel here, but then the chances are that Czech Republic would probably just peel the corner guard off, and
Whoa, 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 whoa,
it would very much look like it could be a blank end. So going with the run back here, Jared Zezel makes contact and plays a super shot here. He even just squeezes those 2 stones over towards the corner.
A really good attempt of him.
Pretty nice.
Well, the 2 second players playing round about the same.
Nebo tam můžeme zajet, jo.
Jared Zezel just sneaking it on Barish.
A nebo roll od toho gardu, jeho,
Poslat ho
na
tam.
kruh.
Na kruh.
Jestli je tam roll na kruh, na nějaký
Okay.
solidní. Co?
Vzít tuhle hranu.
So almost
Yeah.
the same shot
Přesně tak.
is asked for Jakub Barish. Just raising back the red one to the other red one, and the try of a roll to the center.
some.
Venku.
Ooh. Don't want to translate this one. Yeah, but he was going for the alternative, but he was a little bit late. Jiří Nitil could see that Jakub played a little bit to the outside, straightened it up. There was no curl, and he should have swept it a little bit earlier, so make sure that he open up the situation now. But now he hit and sticks with his shooter, and another corner guard in play for this red one in the house.
That's perfect.
Well, Jared Zezel's played a lot of big weight takeouts today, but really not many draws at all.
Close though. Still 5. Room. Right off. It's deep.
Well, Jared Zezel's only thrown 3 draws before now. 15.1 should be pretty close.
All right.
Really fast ice conditions to get that all the way down there. 15 seconds, hog to hog.
Had a chance to play yesterday some stones at lunchtime. Just I was playing with this ceramic stuff, which is really nice experience. They're really aggressive curl they have, but very fast. I figured out myself. So
maybe something for the future, Huli?
Definitely, I think it's a good. They're not finished yet. I think because it's so aggressive the way they curl, you have to put really an extra rotation on that to keep them rotate normally. But something to really think on and keep on going to get it the right mixture of ceramic or whatever, or the right cut. I don't know they're going for, but quite inventive and a really good counter shot, I would say. Nice angle freeze.
Bacha, vynáší tě to, Martine, kousek.
Nose freeze.
Lock it up a bit. Freeze is great.
Yeah, that freeze just sits on the side. Not absolutely perfect, but it is the hardest shot in curling.
Okay, line's good.
6.
Room. Close. Yep.
5.
Hard then.
So Jeff Isaacson
6, 7.
Whoa.
also trying the hardest shot in curling here and trying to get that freeze on. If they could just bump it a little bit and free up that Yellowstone, that would be a super shot. Oh, nice shot there. It leaves a really good angle, and you see the Yellowstone now being directed away from the red shot stone.
And I'm not sure it was this wise of the Czech team, like to go with this speed, like to really play this offensive style somehow. But the question was, how could they play different somehow? They were really running a little bit, or have to be careful that they're not, how do you say, getting into a track, something like that, or running into a track.
Well, one thing's for sure, I mean, I could have said that maybe wanted to play a defensive 8th end here and try and blank. Might have been a good option. They're really pushing hard, but it's always difficult to try and guarantee a steal in this situation, because at the end of the day, USA always have the last stone. So it's not really a great way of controlling the scoreboard, but that Yellowstone looking very, very lonely in there.
Okay, timeout.
Well, that's probably the right moment for a timeout. So they really think it over. So 1 extra minute for the Czechs. Van Rafael on his way to the team.
Taking off his jacket like he was going to go and warm up and like a footballer and get substituted in there. But no, he's not. He's going to come down as the coach and pass on some advice to the team.
I think that's probably the spot they really need to go, like somehow make sure get another rock in play. Another corner freeze maybe.
Tak on už ho nevydá.
On the front one.
Bude mířit do toho našeho žlutýho.
Úplně do otevřeného prostoru.
Does just to
Tady ten
save
první mě dostane pryč.
the one yellow sitting on a second.
To nemůže být moc rychlý,
Shot.
tam není skoro vidět. No. Já
We
bych
might
chtěl
have a
už
chance to
měl
listen what Daniel Raphael is saying.
Play the takeout down center, you have a chance at the triple. Well, at least move that one. If it stays out, then you're probably getting this one and rolling over.
Of the 5?
Like down, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the two options with the hit. The other option is to come over and freeze to this one. Cuts him down to at least only 2. And the third option is just to come down on top of theirs, but then they're just going to hammer everything.
So
I
what
don't-
would you prefer?
I don't mind throwing a hit
Okay.
because, like I said, you have two options. You can either hit this one and make the double,
Yeah.
and probably hit it thin enough,
Yeah. We need
or
to hit it thin, yeah.
or
Tohle
if it
trafik
goes
nejde.
by, then you hit the up.
To vždycky
Okay.
trefuje tenhle
But
ten
you
dál.
need to try to
Tenhle
hit
ten
the
dál.
shooter if you can. And the only way you're going to do that is by hitting the top and rolling.
Yeah.
Vidím tak centiák, no.
But you got to play it tight to the guard.
How fast?
So he was taking the whole time. 10 seconds.
Co teda?
There's left over. Still keep on talking, so it's
Na
good.
ten náš? Na ten
Is
jeho.
it wise it that
Já z
they
toho
need to
červeného
go
kamene
for
vlastně
the
nic
takeout?
nevidím.
Nevidí nic, no.
You agree?
I think they're in a really tough spot here. That was a super shot by Jeff Isaacson, and
A hraju to Oston?
can totally understand why the Czech Republic would need to take a timeout on this one.
Jo.
Just wonder what he's exactly trying to do here. I think maybe trying to come around the guard and chip that redstone just played by Jeff Isaacson. Maybe they can just roll over to that wide red. So just maybe trying to push things around a little bit, change the angles. It's like a reasonably solid takeout weight.
Definitely, they have to make sure that they're not on the guard.
Oh, maybe making a double off throw in yellow the way it's running.
Ooh,
Okay, to není zlý.
Super, Martine.
Druhý, třetí.
quite an option.
To je fajn, Martine.
I'm not sure if that's the shot they called there or not,
How much you guys got up
but
here?
not a terrible result. Lying second and third shot now.
Okay. Like this, like, or what? It's a big roll? I like that. Good. Like, hacker board. Probably board on board. I don't think either one
But
of
as
them
we
has to be
can
very
see
close to
from
the
this perspective, it's quite
gun. Board.
possible for the US team to have a nice hit and roll on the shot rock
Nice look, all right.
and maybe stay 2 rocks totally covered behind the guards. Just coming from the outturn. Anti-clockwise rotation now, played by Jeff Isaacson.
No, 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 no.
Well, that just looked like a little bit of a steer on release there.
Hard! 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 Right up! Go! Hard! John, I can throw hard! Go!
Has he
go,
made
go,
the
go,
double at the back here? No, he has not, but look at the roll.
All right,
Great shot there by Jeff Isaacson. And they would have just liked to roll another stone further over. We've seen some super freezes from Yuji Sneetil this week, and he's got a chance for another one there. Let's just have another look at this release. Just looked a little bit cautious, a little bit careful. And of course gets it away in time to get those green lights on.
Vidím teda.
It was pretty close, I would say.
Víc? Tak.
A little bit unfortunate with the last turn, it went out behind the guard again. Oh, well, there is a really small spot
Ten kámen, co vidíme.
where Jiří Sneetil can play with his first one, this 8th end. But this is a difficult one because you have really passed the left yellow guard on the inside, and then needs enough room to pass the red one in front of the 4-foot. Tough call.
Yeah, it's a tough shot here for Yuji Sneetil. Not a lot of room for error on this one. But
Easy, Indra, easy.
if I had to pick someone to play this shot this week, I think Yuji would be the guy.
This seems to curl a lot to the inside. Question is if they can keep it in line. Not too bad, but they need to pass this red one here. but it's right on it. Oh, Czech team is in danger, definitely.
This is a super chance for the US team.
Nose is really good still. He's got the little inside nose. Yep. So here inside. Okay. I mean, Jared's throwing normal in their curling from here, but I still think I just want to throw control. Normal? Yep.
Kind of way, John.
Control. We're only trying to roll it like 3 inches your way, Lance. Yeah.
Well, it gives us a good look at what they're seeing from the hack. This was it coming in here, and they were sweeping this one all the way down the ice for line. Chips that top red quarter stone and rolls open. So this is a super chance here for the USA. Just want to hit just a centimetre inside the nose. Oh, that's a great result. That's probably even better than the nominated shot.
By some fortune, somehow.
Yeah, that was dirty according to Shoe State. He's moved that red stone over so it's not in a position to be frozen. And he's flicked off it and made the double on that back heel. Could not have asked for any more from that shot. Wow. And now, I think Yishi Snaetail's Olympic dreams hanging by a thread here in this eighth end.
Yeah. I would say the only chance will be maybe run back. What are they going for? Maybe run back the guard or just going for somehow double what I really difficult situation. And they don't have a timeout anymore. Maybe another option would be like playing a come around, coming from the far outside, from the left-hand side, just following and freezing on the back one, maybe. Oh, freezing, yeah. Nice shot as well, yeah.
Yeah, just wondering if there's a freeze on the one at the top of the forefoot. You probably need to sit a little bit to the right-hand side of the nose of the red just to lie second shot ahead of that backstone.
Yeah, probably it's much better not going for the hit right now. Maybe really just make sure that the US team has a hard time to get the 2. And even if they have the chance for 2, would be nice. But giving up now 2, 3, 4, that would be the end of the game. So I think there's quite a better chance. Even if they make this hit perfect, there are a lot of angles. Yeah, the US team probably play a counter.
Well, they're putting a lot down to luck by throwing this one back, and I think the key here is they can't give up more than 3. If they give up more than 3, they're dead.
Well, what they're thinking of, running back this own guard, they have several options maybe for a double as well, so maybe even a good chance. I won't say for a steal, but make it hard as well for Team US to make more than 2. So the call is running back this yellow one, hitting it a little bit on the left side, and then maybe the double, the shot to the one in the back of the house. We'll have a see. But this looks to curl too much.
It was hit on completely the wrong side here, and it is going to be a draw for 5 points for the USA here. John Schuster playing a really good shot with his first stone, getting a better result than he ever imagined, but still a good shot all the same. And rewarded for a super 8th end here. And can you believe it? You could hear a pin drop in here right now in the BLZ arena.
Line's fine. Play it right into the red. Line's good. What do you got for weight?
Line's just
Clean it up. Just clean it up.
9. That's fine. Clean it.
Clean.
7.
Well, lots of backing here. Can just sweep this down onto the stones in the house, and
Nice end, guys. Great end.
yeah, a great end there by the United States. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the US.
So as the teams are preparing for the probably last but two ends. Showing you another time the
6-7.
here's a sum up of the scoreboard. The 5 are really hammered in the 8th end. Really disastrous end of the Czech team.
I think it's there, guys.
Really easy.
So Uli, I mean, there obviously was some misses from the Czechs there, but what was it the American team did well there to generate that opportunity?
But also some misses. It was just the small pieces went together. Pro Team US and negative, like, or contra, you would say, against Czech. So, and as we said before, we would have highly recommend for Jiří, as he's just a good draw player, to probably choose with his last one going for a draw. Just how save the situation, giving up 1 or 2, but not more.
Well, it's a 4-shot game now with 2 ends remaining of regulation time. Czech Republic really probably need to score a minimum of 3 here in this 9th end. And we're going to get a little recap here of the 8th end. Here's John Schuster's first stone. Makes the nose hit, hits just slightly the wrong side of the nose, and John Schuster sleeping with angels there. Gets a terrific result. Then Jiří Sneedtail tries the drive, hits on the wrong side, and John Schuster with the easiest of draws to put 5 on the board for the United States. Now leading by 7 shots to 3. Well, the USA with their second lead stone here. What we didn't see was them just throwing their second stone through the house. And another corner guard going up here.
Well, I won't say that there's game over, but it's going to be hard. I think Czech team really needs to go on the scoreboard. I would say with 3. That would be the plan, the master plan, and then going for a steal in the 10th end and try to somehow reach the second, the extra end. But at deuce would probably not enough. You need to steal like another deuce in this 10th, and this is more than unlikely. But all this happened before, so never say never.
Oh, absolutely. And we saw, I've mentioned this a couple of times, even at the Roar of the Rings, at the highest level, Kev Martin against Glenn Howard. Glenn Howard's 3 up coming down the 9th and loses 4 to Kevin Martin. So if it can happen there, it can happen here.
So, stay in the game. Means of Czech team. Also, it's gonna be really tough for them. Somehow keep up their hopes.
Other way, John. Off the other way. Go off the other way.
Oh, a mistake here. Big mistake there by Jared Zezel. Doesn't make the peel.
Outside in. We should just do this.
So now Czech Republic have 2 guards to use.
He hasn't missed one.
This looks like a smart call here going around the center guard.
Rychlost by měla být fajn. Počkat. Místo. Místo. Až na konci. Až na konci. Chceš, že mi točí? Vždycky točí a teď netočí.
Really nice attempt. And for sure the yes team tries to open up the guard.
Yeah, but it looks like Czech Republic might have a chance to get a couple in behind this corner guard now, so USA need to be a little bit careful here.
Čas je OK, Martin. Guard.
Another guard going to go up here from the Czech Republic. Could go around the corner guard with this one. Maybe just wait one more.
Yeah.
Stejně jako fotbal.
Fajn. Pojede dlouho rovně.
Jo.
Ještě.
Ne, Fabre.
Okay.
Jeff Isaacson just played the peel again here. Doesn't want to hang around for another corner. And this one will roll away. So I'd expect Czech Republic to play the draw around here.
No, it's not. He tries to be patient. Don't think this is probably the really good call.
No, I don't think I'm a fan of this. You're trailing by 4. I think by throwing this guard, then you're giving the USA one less stone really to have to peel. They're just going to throw a guard. USA are going to peel it, and then you probably have to go around the corner guard. But you can only get 2 in behind the corner guard, and I think you've only got a chance to score 2 if you throw a guard here. So over curls a bit.
Just hopes that there's somehow a miss with this first one of John Schuster.
Yeah, I don't think I can agree with that call from Yiji. I think that needed to be a come around, maybe back of the 4-foot behind the corner guard. Make some space to get a second one in behind there and then force a miss around the corner.
Yep. Hard.
This one looks to curl a little bit. Oh, here we go, but he has, oh,
a big miss there from John Schuster. Removes the red stone, and now usually doesn't even have to worry about any red stones in the house and out counting them.
So that was his plan, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's probably not. It's just kidding, but it really went wrong, totally wrong.
Yeah,
just
really
over curled, and then the jam in the back. Wow.
Well, that was a nervous shot there from John Schuster. Maybe just sensing the finishing line coming up, Hooley.
Yeah. That's one of the points we witnessed yesterday as well with the German team somehow losing, I want to say losing the focus, but just starting to think of what is now very reachable at this moment. Making the 5 and you're in the zone where you say, okay, now I just need to grab it. It's right there what I'm going for.
Well, needs to cover this yellow stone and makes a good effort. So, as I said before, just by throwing that guard with the 3rd second stone, then there was only ever going to get a chance to score 2 because it was always going to leave an open takeout at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Uli, our director, has just given us a phrase, an American phrase for getting close to the finishing line and almost getting a little bit tight and nervous and celebrating a little bit too early almost, and it's doing the touchdown dance at the 5-yard line.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So,
well, John Schuster hits and rolls out, and usually it's gonna just have to hit the paint for 2 here.
Oh, throw my first one a little better.
Jako jsme hráli všechno. To fajn? Přijde rychlejší, ještě tím nemám.
Stejný.
reaching the house means the Czechs are still in play. But of course, it's going to be a really tough way to somehow keep the hopes alive for reaching the Olympic spot. Here's the deuce.
Yep. And after 9 ends, it's a 2-shot game coming home. The United States are going to have the hammer and a 2-shot lead.
Do kruhu dozadu, taky tam vzniká dvojka na konci, když mám ty 3 většiny píle. Tady bychom tam měli ty 2 gárdy, myslím. Pak musíme prostě hraje proti proužku, proti extrému. Tak. Precizně 2 gárdy.
Jak jsme si domluvili, který dřív teda?
Hraju radši ten první. Jedničku.
A čas je super.
No ale můžu se trošku stresovat, ne? Když máme málo.
Co?
Mohli bychom se trochu, máme míň včera.
Co? Míň než včera.
Ne, čas je úplně v pohodě.
Promiň, ty vyhraješ první, já to nevím.
Jedničku.
Well, this could well be the final end of this men's World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event. The USA leading Czech Republic by 2 shots here in the 10th end. And my name's Logan Gray, and could be our last end together, Uli Cup.
What a pity. Last end for this event. Hopefully another one sooner or later.
All, of course, we probably expect USA to run this end through quite easily, but you never know. There's a lot on the line. People could get a little bit tight and make some untimely errors, and Czech Republic could maybe get a steal on the board here.
Alright, that's fine. Yep, go right through.
So good attempt, but of course not good enough. Zessel sweeping the own rock through. That of course makes sense. Odd.
And of course, curling fans, just remember this is not the last game of the week. We still have the women's second final to be played later on this afternoon. And we'll find out who the final team to qualify for the Sochi Olympics is. Will it be Norway or will it be Japan? That will be at 4:30 Central European time and live here on World Curling TV. So USA big favourites here to secure that last spot at the Olympic Games.
Yep, yep. Hard, 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 right up. Hard, hard, I throw that one. Hard, 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 hard. All the way up.
I'll go for the tech shot again here. Missed the first one, but played a beauty here with the second one. Oh wow, how good's that? Pushes it into the dead zone. So just to confirm the men's teams who have already qualified for the Olympics: Canada, of course, Sweden, Great Britain, who use Scotland's World Championship points, Norway, Denmark, China, Switzerland, and of course Russia as the host country. They're also joined by Germany, who qualified in the first final last night by defeating the Czech Republic. And the way things are going here, could be a heartbreaking back-to-back loss to the Czech Republic. And of course that would mean no Czech Republic men's team at the Olympic Games. But it has been a super men's event, hasn't it, Uli?
Yeah, definitely. It's like really pretty close. 4 teams heading for the playoffs. 5 wins to 2. But only 3 could make it in the end, and looks like it's the best outcome for the US, being the 10th nation to qualify for the Olympic Games.
Good one, Zaz.
Well, and actually from the point of view of the sport, it might, I mean, I hate to say that it would be better if one team won than the other, but as we mentioned earlier, for the overall sport, it might be better that USA are there from the point of view of TV,
sport politics, the marketing issues, and all these stuff. Like, it's a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, Salt Lake City, massive interest in curling since then. And the sport really growing in the USA at the moment, so that would really help keep their momentum going.
Actually, they're building up a brand new rink in New York City, I think in Manhattan, or no, is it like in
the Bronx?
In the Bronx it is, like really historical facility. Together with, what is it, like his name, Marc Messier, something, the really super hockey player, he's involved together with a curling guy. Marc Messier, yeah. So this is gonna be a thing, so whenever you visit New York, remember, a nice place to curl.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can go and find like a summer spiel or something to go and play in together over there, really.
Good.
So here's Martin Sneetiel throwing third stones for the Czech Republic. And trying to make the come around. But Czech Republic are going to need a miss from the USA here. But this one looks hot here. Jindřich Kutzberger backing right off this one. Martin Sneetiel seemed to be breathing quite heavily in the hack there, and I think maybe just should have taken an extra moment. Will this hang around? It will do, so not in a bad spot. But Team USA don't need to do anything too fancy here. They just need to make all the Yellowstones leave on their takeouts and roll the shooter away. Don't want to leave any stones around for the Czech Republic to use. And Jeff Isaacson's going to half this guard off quite nicely. So very much the Czech Republic need a miss from the USA. I wonder what the conversation was when they were sliding out there. And Martin Sneetiel just looking for a little bit of reassurance that he was sliding at the right speed from his sweepers. Well, a good guard.
So once again, this guard means to be a little more threatening for the US team. So they want to get rid of this one.
Well, Jeff Isaacson is exactly the guy you want to be throwing these peels. Played against him in the World Juniors, and we called him Jeff the Machine Isaacson because of his big weight ability. And plays two nice peels in this 10th end.
So it's about Gigi Sneetiel to play his first one in this 10th end. Another guard.
Yeah, I think it has to be another guard. Looking reasonably relaxed out there, but they're in a pretty good position here. I mean, if it was a tied game coming home with a hammer, I think you'd see them looking a little bit more uptight, but 2 up with the hammer, no guards in play. You've got to feel pretty confident that you can see this game out and qualify your team for the Olympic Games.
Not to forget, there's another one sitting outside on the alternate bench. It's Craig Brown, complete this team here. Well known in the curling scene and also quite successful.
So, needs to be the peel again here. I don't think you'd ever risk going after that back stone. If you just touch that front guard, then it could give the Czech team the chance that they need. There is Craig Brown, the 38-year-old, curled for 28 years, and
his sister already is in the Sochi Games, qualified, Erica Brown.
Yeah, they didn't have to come here this week. They managed to gather enough points from the last 2 World Championships to qualify directly, the American women.
Back.
Of course, that was Alison Pottinger
Stop one's fine. It's on it.
and
Big
then
piece,
Erica
big,
Brown
big,
in
big,
Riga this year. So, actually makes a double on 2 yellow stones, and well, all Yeezy can do is throw another one into the rings here and keep them well spread and hope for a disastrous miss. Well, just a word for Yeezy here. It's going to be disappointing for a lot of people to see Yeezy lose. He's one of the most liked people on the Curling Champions Tour in Europe, and
he's a really good guy. The whole team, really, very much good fellows.
yeah, absolutely. And it's just disappointing to see this after really seemed to be moving forward. They got their first medal at the European Championships last year, but this looks like it's going to be a failed attempt to qualify for the Olympic Games. That could well be Jiří Snitil's last stone of this Olympic campaign. The road to Sochi about to end for the Czech Republic. I was speaking to Jiří just before the game, and he seemed pretty focused and not too worried about losing last night. He recognised that it still had a great chance to qualify, but it's just been a little bit too much, and John Schuster opting to try and hit the stone on the back line here.
Clean. Yep, yep. Right to it. Right to it,
This
guys.
looks pretty good,
Right to it.
pretty solid,
Right to it.
and they just make it.
Hits it right on the beak, and the USA have secured that final spot at the Olympic Games. Devastating finish for the Czech Republic. Back-to-back losses. Couldn't take either of their 2 opportunities to qualify the Czech Republic. And there we have a final. The United States defeating the Czech Republic by 7 shots to 6. The USA are going to the Olympics.
So they seem to look pretty confident, not very overwhelming. Somehow, probably they're, here they go.
Oh boy.
Clearly thrilled. They've had to come the long way as well, haven't they, Uli?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They had to come through a tiebreaker against the Koreans.
Olympian John
That's the most I've heard Jeff Isaacson speak all week. Trying to get the young guys in the team really excited about what they've achieved this week, and they have achieved a lot. Jakub Barish clearly heartbroken out there.
Probably has some years to go, the young Jakub, but the question is if the Snitil brothers will keep on going. Well, and seeing
I'm going over it.
John Schuster,
Oh, can I go hug my mom quick?
like he really made a quite an Olympic career. This will his 3rd appearance of showing up at the Olympic Games. So quite a career.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think it's just getting obvious now for him, just realistic right now. Seem to be very, very focused. There we see on the right-hand side, Kate Caithness, president of the World Curling Federation. Congratulations to him. And here's the coach, Tim Müller.
3rd time's gonna be a charm, I can feel it.
Well, now it's getting more and more realistic for those guys. Okay, let us. 7th end to come, and a really, really tough shot for Jiří Snitil. There was a good chance to maybe fighting back, getting the deuce here, but so a little bit less curl and needed perfect weight on this one, but just not enough finish in the end. So it was just a single.
1 yellow. 1 yellow.
Then the 8th end. That was like by unfortunate. We would recommend to play a draw just to save maybe a deuce and not giving up a 4 or 5. But then he overcurled with this one and just leaves the house open for John Schuster. Just needed to draw in the open house. And of course, he secured this gift.
Line's fine. Nice end, guys. Great
This
end.
was the breaking point in the whole game, you could say.
Nice end, guys. Great end.
And here you go. Saved it.
Thank you. Good game, Yuri.
8 shots to 5, the final score in this game. USA, the 10th nation to qualify for the 2014 Olympic Winter Games in Sochi.
Hey, buddy.
The interview with the winning skip John Schuster to come within shortly.
John, you're going to your 3rd Olympics. How does it feel?
Pretty darn good. You know, the butterflies of winning, you know, an opportunity like this, just they never get old. That's why we play this game. So.
Obviously, you and Jeff have been before. How big an achievement is this for your young front end?
Oh, huge. But I mean, these guys work their tails off, and they're some of the best in the business. So, I'm just extremely proud of how well our team has played the entire season, and especially when we kind of had our backs against the wall 2-2 to start this week. So, just so proud of those guys.
Tell me about the 8th end. What was it that really pulled that score of 5 together?
Oh, you know, they just kind of, you know, they kind of didn't quite get there on a freeze, and then Jeff came and made an absolute honey in there and got it, you know, frozen on there, and they came out and, I mean, they made a great shot and doubled, you know, doubled them both out of there, and then we just kind of kept on there. And we got a little lucky on my first one. I think I was trying to roll a little bit, but it kind of caught that and caught the back one and made it. So, you know, we were going to, you know, Yuri really had, I mean, he didn't like any of his options, so.
So there's obviously some hard work ahead over the next couple of months as well, but maybe a few celebrations this evening?
You know, a little bit, but I hate flying, being hungover. So I think we're just really going to enjoy this. That's kind of what our team does. Is we're kind of, you know, just a really tight group of guys, kind of like a family, and I think we're going to enjoy this together a lot.
Well, congratulations and well done in a great week.
Thanks. Thanks, Logan. Hi, everybody.
So, you don't like to fly with a hangover. So here's here, like the way Germany qualified, US qualified by winning this last playoff game against Czech Republic. So the nations on the right hand side, these are the teams. They complete the field of 10 nations playing at the 2014 Olympic Winter Games.
Well, there's Jared Zezel. First time Olympian for him. Jeff Isaacson, he's going for a 2nd time. And another thrilling conclusion to this men's event. But still more curling to come here from the BLZ Arena. 4:30 for the women's event, the 2nd final. But USA have qualified for the Olympic Games in the men's event. Unfortunately, the Czech Republic won't be there. From myself, Logan Gray and Uli Cap, thanks for watching and join us for more in the women's event at 4:30.